All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, welcome, welcome, welcome. And we are back with part two. Today, our topic, same topic that we had from yesterday, continuing on with our gladiators. Our name of the conversation today, the modern gladiators and the war mentality. We're showing that how these boxers train, prepare for their fights in the ring and become champions, that there is a same type of preparedness that you would have as a fighter in the ring is the same type of preparedness that you would have as a freedom fighter, as a Black Power advocate, as a Black nationalist, as a Muslim, a Christian. When you're deciding to go up against the enemy of all enemies, you have to prepare. You have to prepare. And so tonight we're talking about the modern gladiators with Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Money Mayweather. What is it? Money Mayweather. What's this little thing he called himself?
Money Mayweather, Floyd Money Mayweather. Yeah, the money team.
The money team. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Talking about the money team. And so we're going to start out talking about the war mentality. Now, in both the boxing ring and the arena of Black Power, a war mentality is not about mindless aggression. It's about supreme discipline, strategic defense, and the total mastery of self. For a boxer, the war is won in the gym and in the mind long before the first punch is thrown. For a Black Power advocate, the war is won through building institutions, securing resources, and doing for self to independence. So, Doc, when you think about the war mentality and these four boxers that we have up here, can you break down I would say, their type of war mentality? Because I don't see them all as having the same type of war mentality.
Well, I would definitely talk about Iron Mike being just the one that is going to dig up into your chest. He's going to try and walk straight through you. He is would be the equivalent of an Eldritch Cleaver, of not quite a Malcolm, but a Khalid Muhammad, someone who just brings it right to you, right to your face, raw, unabashed. Ali would be, for my money, the probably about an 8 to 9, if not a 9 to 10 across every area. Mm-hmm. Because quite simply, he is going to battle you not only in the ring, but prior to getting into the ring, you're going to have to deal with him, because he's going to be a master. He's a skillful fighter, undoubtedly, but he's a master manipulator when you're talking about the psychological aspect of fighting. Mm-hmm. Floyd Money Mayweather, I would say that Floyd is quite simply just a supreme, all-around boxer. Supreme as far as he knows his craft through and through. Out of everyone who is here, who's listed there, maybe Mike, but no one was born and raised from, I would argue, birth to be a fighter more than Floyd was. Floyd comes from a family of boxers, Roger Mayweather being his trainer, Floyd Mayweather Sr. being a brilliant fighter himself. So he was steeped up and raised in the game. And when I think about Floyd, I'm thinking about one of the commentary that a guy who fought Floyd had about him. And he said that, he fought Floyd later in his career, And he says quite simply, it was how alert Floyd was. He says, when you're inside and you're fighting, you would think that people would squinch their eyes or whatever. He said, no, Floyd's eyes are wide open because
Mm,
in the heat of battle, he's looking for openings. He's looking for things that he could exploit. So he would definitely be a like a Malcolm, someone who is comprehensive, someone who is um, astutely tuned in to what is going on. Now, Sugar Ray would be a warrior. He would be our version of Maximus. He would be the one that you would send out there to inspire the troops, to rally the troops, and if things got a little hairy, he would go ahead and finish the battle for you.
mm. Wow, excellent, excellent. So I looked up um, a few things, and tell me if you agree. It
Mhm.
says the mental edge for boxers. Boxers like Muhammad Ali or modern champions don't just train their bodies; they build their inner fortress. This is a psychological resilience to endure pain while waiting for the precise moment to strike.
Mhm.
Would you agree?
I would agree
Now,
wholeheartedly with that. You're talking about, and it's really analogous to the Black freedom struggle. That if you're not trained psychologically to deal with what you're going to have to deal with, and one of the foremost things that you're going to have to deal with is the disappointment that is going to come from your people. Black folk, if you're in this area of trying to lift them up, racial uplift work, black folk are going to repeatedly break your heart. It's just what it is. So if you're not undergirded with a almost indomitable belief that we're going to ultimately emerge victorious, this line of work is definitely not for you.
definitely, definitely. Then it talks about total discipline. A fighter's life is governed by a schedule, a strict diet, and rigorous sleep, and constant repetition. This mirrors the revolutionary discipline required in social movements. If you cannot control your own appetites, you cannot lead a people.
Yes, I would agree wholeheartedly with that. Discipline. One of the things that always gets me is when I come across people who profess themselves to be followers of whoever, and you talk to them and you realize that they're not learned. They haven't read. They haven't studied. They haven't gone into those spaces where you stay for weeks just reading one person, studying one person, trying to figure out what were the positives, what were the negatives to the movement that they were involved in. They want the glitz and they want the glamour of it. They want to be out in front of the people talking. And the one of the more unfortunate things is that many of these people that I'm talking about are actually very, very, very eloquent,
Mm,
very motivational. But when you really look at what it is they actually said, they haven't said anything. They haven't moved our people one iota. It's very similar for me to hearing a very charismatic black preacher who, and I'm sure that you'll understand what it is that I'm saying when I say this. They're up there huckabucking,
mhm.
okay, the huh and the huh and
Exactly.
they're not even saying anything, but they work the people in to a emotional frenzy. But let that subside, and then ask them, what did he say? What was
Mhm.
his message? I don't know, but that boy sure preached. He
Right.
sure was preaching. I remember, and I went to school. I'll try to not say this guy's name. He was a little younger than me, but we went to school together. And one of the big things at their church was they were trying to apparently create younger ministers and things like that. And this was a guy that I would argue has no business whatsoever, not today, not tomorrow, not anytime in the future, ever being up in the pulpit, because he was, from the actions that I saw him do,
Mhm.
immoral. But he gets up in front of the church and he says, and I still remember this, and this has to be 35 years ago. Okay. He says, yeah, being with Jesus, it's like being with getting Campbell's soup. It's good. Now, he says that, and the congregation erupts. Okay. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what this is. Y'all are interested in emotionalism and fluff, not anything of substance, not anything that really you're not hermeneutically sound. And
Right.
one could argue that that's in that venue, that's what they wanted. And just to make sort of a long story short, this guy goes on, becomes a an ordained minister, I guess, whatever they call it, has his own church actually now, and has a first lady. He's married, and also has the unmitigated gall to have developed three baby mamas
Mm.
while he's in the pulpit.
Mm.
But I'm sure it's good. You know, it turns into a clown show.
Mhm.
Malcolm's comment about the March on Washington always resonates with me. When Malcolm said it was a circus with clowns and all. And what we often have are people who are unserious,
Mhm.
not dedicated to what it is. And if you really were to ask them, if black people could be liberated and freed from all that is bothering them and ailing them, if they could be freed, okay, and you would not be able to be a leader in the movement, you would just have to be a foot soldier who didn't have any major role. Would you prefer that, with black folk being liberated once again, to you being the leader and they continue to struggle? I think that if they answered that truthfully, they would say, I would rather be the leader and our people continue to struggle.
Mm. Mm. Wow. That is something. That is something. Then they talk about controlled aggression.
Mm,
War in the ring is calculated. Every move is a response to a threat or a opening. This translates to the mission statement of a movement. You do not start the fight, but you are prepared to finish it
hmm
if anyone comes against what you have decided to build.
hmm
That discipline and controlled aggression. Um, and I don't know, I think this is true as far as the Black Panther movie, where in I think it was the Chicago office, and the police was coming and they decided to have a shootout. And at least in the movie, you know, they were getting their shotguns and the police was across the street, by their cars with their pistols out. And, they start shooting.
hmm
And it's like, well, why are you doing that? Why are you taking that route?
hmm
That doesn't really make sense. Is it something that you really need to do? Do you really, it's essentially important that you actually get into a shootout with the police and they got better guns than you did with a damn shotgun.
And a court system behind them.
Right. So it's like I start to think about whether they were truly disciplined like they should have been. And I compared that because this morning I was listening to a lecture that the minister was doing, and he was talking about when the secretary in LA got killed by the police. And Malcolm wanted the FOI to go out and start killing the police.
Mm-hmm.
And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, no, you go out and you start killing the police, you put the whole mission of the Nation of Islam in jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no, we're not doing that. That's not going to happen. I don't care how many secretaries they kill. We're not going to take that route. He says, we got into a fight with the police before in the early days, and we whooped the police. We whooped each and every last one of them in there. He said,
Ronald Stokes.
mm-hmm.
That was his name, Ronald Stokes.
And he says the next meeting night, when it was time to meet, nobody showed up.
Mm.
And he's like, because they wasn't soldiers, when God gave them the victory, after they done saw what they done, they got scared and said, I ain't fucking with that. I ain't going back around there.
Mm.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, I'm not going to war unless I know I got real soldiers. So at this time, we're not doing that. And that, again, pissed off Malcolm, because Malcolm at that time was saying, there's nothing in a Rexall there's nothing in a Rexall drugstore that will kill you faster than a Muslim who has been offended.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't allow him to go do that. And looking at it from the messenger's perspective, that's supreme discipline.
Yeah.
That's supreme discipline.
Yeah. The only thing that I always say about situations like that, especially if a response is delayed over and over and over again, is that it begins to seem like it's cowardice.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll have people who will begin to criticize the organization, from people who are not members of it will, and possibly some rumblings within the organization like Malcolm had.
Mm-hmm.
But you're the moment that you become emotional, the moment that you lose your frame, I don't care what it is you're doing. I don't care if it's a argument, a discussion with your woman. The moment that you lose your frame is the moment that you've lost,
Mm-hmm.
and you lose control. Because you're being guided by something that is so far from wisdom that it isn't even funny. The combination of emotionalism following behind wisdom and understanding of what needs to occur, that's totally different from just flying off the handle and going out here and trying to handle things the way that you quote unquote see fit.
Exactly. One thing that I noticed that a lot of these, talking heads out there throw this on the Nation of Islam. They'll say, well, Nation of Islam been around for 80 years, but look at the community. Mm-hmm. And it's like, so are you saying look at the Black community or look at the community of the Nation of Islam? Which are you talking?
Yeah.
But
see, the absence of specificity works for them in that
Mm-hmm.
in that moment, because quite simply they're kind of saying, you haven't saved us all.
Mm-hmm.
But come on, we've done this work long enough to understand that without personal discipline and responsibility, you're not going to be saved.
Sure.
And that's what it comes down to. And I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your occupation is. Without those things, supporting and undergirding what it is that you're doing, you're going to have a rough road to hoe. And
Hmm.
it's just what it comes down to. There is
Hmm.
no way of getting around that. You know,
Hmm.
I tell my students this all the time, that the same things that will make you successful as a pimp, a preacher, whatever you wanna say, those same things are applicable. They're a major part of the success recipe for any occupation. You can take these skills and do whatever you want to, but if you're devoid of any real understanding of what discipline is, in that it's not sexy, it's not always going to be welcomed by your spirit, you have to override that. But if you're unable to do that, don't dare come out and say, well, what have y'all done? Y'all ain't, look at the community around. Look at what's going on. Well, okay, there might be a legitimate gripe for the community, but when you're dealing with the righteous, you're dealing with the followers, um, those who have been disciplined throughout the entire thing. Then you got a different population that you're talking about.
Hmm. Exactly, exactly. And I tell people all the time that say that is that you can't judge the Nation of Islam by people who refuse to follow its dictates.
Yeah.
Because they didn't assign on to it, so hell, they gonna do what they want to do.
I mean,
You
it's the equivalent of blaming the white Methodists
hmm.
for the condition of the Black Baptist Church.
Hmm.
Those things those organizations have nothing to do with each other.
Exactly.
That's a very um, reasonable and logical argument. And when you're dealing with emotion, those things fly out the window. I tell people all the time that if I'm lecturing and I'm able to get you to laugh,
Hmm.
all your critical thinking skills are now gone,
Mm.
and I can take you wherever I want to take you. And that's what it comes down to. So, um, the ability to be a fighter and to be in the heat of the battle displays some guts, and also some discipline that is
Hmm.
out of this world. You think about a figure like Mike Tyson. Mike said this. He said, "Never trust a man who has quit." He said, "Never trust him." He said, "Never trust him." He was talking about boxers, a fighter. He said, because it's gonna get hot up in that ring at some point, and if
Mm.
he has an escape route, he's gonna take it. He said, "You wanna put your money behind somebody who's gonna die on their shield because they know nothing else."
Right.
And that's applicable to the movement. That if people have a an escape route, another option, more than likely they're going to take that at some point to save themselves.
Exactly. Exactly. So when we look at war in the Black Power concept,
Hmm.
the war of the mind, this is the internal battle to kill the slave mentality, the spirit of fear, self hatred, and dependency, and replace it with the original man conscience, your God conscience. Um, why do we find that that's, I would think, some of the hardest part dealing with our people who reject knowledge? That's the hardest part for them.
Well, but see, the thing is that we can say that they reject knowledge,
Hmm.
but they're still absorbing something. That bandwidth that they have, that memory that they have, is still being filled up with something. It's just foolishness and things like that. As a man thinketh, so is he. I always rely upon that. And the reason I rely upon that is quite simply that it's one of the greatest truisms of what is poured into you. intellectually, spiritually, what hits your soul is going to go a great measure towards determining who you are, what you value, what you want to see occur in this world. And getting that out of someone when they've been born into sin, number one, but number two, they have a situation where what they're going to do is stay in the joy of sin,
Mm,
stay in the joy of misery. That's very difficult to to be able to reverse. Very difficult, if not outright impossible, because that's their wheelhouse now. That's their comfort zone.
mm. Wow, that's very, very interesting. Then we go to the defensive war. Like the fruit of Islam, the war mentality is one of protection and presence.
Mhm.
It's about being race aware and standing literally as a shield for the nation. It is the discipline to be the first line of defense against both external threats and internal decay.
Mhm.
The fruit of Islam. Doc, do you think if the civil rights movement had their version of a fruit of Islam, that it would have been a little bit better?
What do you mean their version of it? I mean, I'm kind of lost.
Like,
Yeah.
their own security force, their own backbone of the nation is the FOI.
Hmm.
They get out there, they sell the papers, they do the going out there and getting people in and bringing them in the mosque. They are the backbone of the nation. If the civil rights movement, if Dr. King and them could have gotten together and had their military or controlled force like the FOI,
Yeah.
would
See,
it have been sustained?
see, I'm kind of thrown off by that part, the last part
Mhm.
of what you were talking about, because quite simply, it's almost holy fantasy, because really what you're dealing with are people who are seeking integration,
Mhm.
people who are not seeking to build a nation, so to speak. What they're desiring, and this is the main thrust of the civil rights movement, what they're actually desiring is an improvement in Black life
Mhm.
while remaining a part of the nation, meaning America. They want jobs, they want educational opportunities, they want to get further entrenched. So the idea, outside of a rogue group like the Deacons for Defense and Justice, outside of something like that, you're going to be hard pressed. And then the other thing that I would say about that is that what the nation has over Dr. King and the civil rights establishment is quite simply, those are their people. Whereas Baptists in Dallas, Texas may sympathize with Dr. King, but they're not his people. So he doesn't really have that type of input or control over those people. And we can never forget that so much of the central thrust of the civil rights movement coming out of the Christian church is quite simply to forgive, to turn the other cheek, to love ones that want, to love your enemy. So there's almost a constant hope that one is going to encounter when they're talking about the civil rights movement, that one day we shall overcome, but that overcoming will come largely at the hand of not man but God. And I don't see any element of the civil rights movement that could be really in mass, in a large sense, compared to the FOI. they are in many ways going to look at that as pure, utter, unadulterated, unjustified violence, the very way that they looked at Malcolm. So I can't even fathom Dr. King them even considering something like that, let alone developing something like that.
Mm, wow, definitely. Then it talks about the economic and spiritual warfare. This is the war you mentioned of in your mission statement. It is the active effort to build the independent systems, schools, farms, pharmacies that can survive in a hostile environment.
Hmm.
This is war by the means of construction, building so strongly that your reality cannot be easily dismantled. And this is something that I believe was missing in our uh, bill to be quote unquote American citizens or justified as American citizens.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at and you're examining a people who, by and large, set their sights upon something that was in many ways foolish, and they're the only ones who are really truly pursuing it. And it is integration with a enemy, a larger hostile enemy, who has told you repeatedly and shown you, if your ears were plugged, they've shown you that they do not want you to join them. And so, quite possibly, the best thing that you would be able to do is to change your focus and work on developing your own. I think about Malcolm and Malcolm's great quote where he says, quite simply, I'm not worried about you living in a black community, because as soon as you move in, white folk gonna move out, and it's gonna be a black community again. The focus should have at some point become doing for self and building your own. But that's not something that we necessarily saw bannered about often in public. Now, towards his later years, Dr. King kind of adapts and echoes what James Baldwin said, which is quite simply, I feel as if I'm integrating into a burning house.
Mm, 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 mm. Well, I tell you that is no truer sentiment that he felt that he was integrating the people into a burning house, which was actually actual facts.
Yeah, I mean,
Actual.
there comes a moment where you just have to realize that there's nothing that you can give, there's no behavior that you could exhibit that would cause these people to actually welcome you, let alone, and that's different. They don't even want to tolerate you, let alone welcome you and
Mm,
view you as a equal partner in the American experiment.
hmm. Definitely. So we're going to move on to our first. Oh, let me go back to say this first. When we combine the things that we talked about for the boxer and for the Black Power advocate, that produces a warrior scholar,
Mhm.
a warrior scholar. And this is what we definitely have to have. So, in this first of defining the war mentality as strategic discipline, we're going to watch Muhammad Ali talk about racial integration.
Mhm.
This is where Ali's war began, where he refused to lose his identity or blot out his race. So let's go check out this really quick.
People to move in the neighborhoods, but clean their own neighborhoods. And another thing, when you say integration, it comes on the intermarriage too, right? All
Right,
been together.
right, sure.
And I'm sure no intelligent white person watching this show, or no intelligent white man in his or her right white mind, want black boys and black girls marrying their white sons and daughters, and in return introducing their grandchildren as half brown, kinky-haired black people. I'm sure. Well, you wouldn't, but a lot of them would.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people. No, this is the point.
What I'm trying to say is this. You don't have it. You say you don't, but you don't have it. You really ain't gonna have it. You're on the show, and you got to say that. But
that's not true.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I don't think I'm any different from you. You see.
Yeah, we much different.
I mean, I think society's made us different.
You know we're different. We all together.
But society's made us different.
No, not society. God made us different.
No, we're just human beings. He made all of us.
We all listen. Bluebirds fly with bluebirds. Red birds want to be with red birds. Listen. Tell me when I'm wrong. Pigeons want to be with pigeons.
But
tell me when I'm right. We should have. They don't have intelligence, but yet they stay together. We should have more intelligence than them, right? Buzzards are with buzzards. Buzzards are with buzzards. Bluebirds are with bluebirds. They all are birds, but they got different cultures. The eagles like to hang out in the mountains. The buzzard like to fly around the desert.
Well,
the bluebird like to fly around the trees and the grass.
There'd be certain problems a buzzard mating with a sparrow, wouldn't there?
What?
There was certain right.
And we have the problems too. No, I don't see no black and white couples in England or America walking around proud, holding their children.
That's because society
and going out.
That's society's fault. I mean, we've got to educate people around it.
Well, life is too short for me to be catching hell for something like that. I'd rather go and be my own. I have a beautiful daughter, beautiful wife. They look like me. We're all happy, and I don't have no trouble. No trouble. I ain't that much in love with no woman to go through all that hell. Ain't no one woman that good. You understand?
I understand. Yeah, I do understand. I understand. But I think it's sad that
it ain't sad because I want my child to look like me. Every intelligent person wants his child to look like him. I'm sad because I want to blot out my race and lose my beautiful identity. Chinese love Chinese. They love the little slanted-eyed, pretty brown-skinned babies. Pakistanis love their culture. Jewish people love their culture. A lot of Catholics don't want to marry number Catholics. They want the religion to stay the same. Who want to spot up yourself and kill your race? You a hater of your people if you don't want to stay who you are. You shame what God made you. God didn't make no mistake when he made us all like we were.
I think that's a philosophy of despair.
Despair.
I really do.
It ain't no despair. Number one, can't no woman. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you. Listen, no woman on this whole earth, not even a black woman in Muslim countries, can please me and cook for me and socialize and talk to me like my American black woman. No woman, and last is a white woman, can really identify with me and my feelings and the way I act and the way I talk. And you can't take no Chinese man and give him no Puerto Rican woman and holler about we're in love and you emotionally in love and physically, but really they're not happy because she's gonna hear some Puerto Rican music, he's gonna hear some Chinese music, and they're gonna be clashing all the time. It's just nature. You can do what you want, but it's nature to want to be with your own. I want to be with my own. I love my people. That's all. I don't hate nobody.
So as you see with that, Muhammad kept his gun straight, and he made his point, even though you see the interviewer not very happy that he can't turn Muhammad Ali's thoughts into the direction that he wants them to go.
Certainly.
And with that, with boxers, because people write in these boxing magazines or whatever, this about this opponent, this about that opponent. And how do they kind of like shield themselves away from falling into believing what it is written about them?
I think that's a personal thing of not believing them when they're saying, when they're praising you, and not believing them when they're criticizing you. Not reading your own press clippings. I think that's crucial for anyone, regardless of what venue they're in, sports, politics, or what have you.
Excellent. So now we're going to go to another Muhammad video where it talks about faith as the armor of a warrior.
Like flying.
Been of the Muslim Islam.
But what things in life have you ever been afraid of? I know you don't like flying.
Been of the Muslim Islamic faith, I'm afraid of one thing. We all are true Muslim only fears Allah. Allah is the Arab name for God. We don't fear nothing but Allah. People to move in the neighborhoods.
And as Muhammad said, we don't fear anybody, anything but Allah. How do you translate that for a fighter? Because I know at some point, I don't want to take this hit. I don't want to. We saw Sonny Liston quit on a fight, and I'm quite sure he wasn't the only one to ever do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you enter into that situation as you would enter into any challenging situation. You're going to just apply your game, and trust in God. You have prepared, and you got to execute now. And a big part of it is if you're fearful and what have you, there will be no execution. Because you're not standing on solid ground.
Deep. All right, so we're going to look at Muhammad Ali's refusal to fight in Vietnam.
I'm saying you talking about me about some draft, and all of you white boys are breaking your neck to get to Switzerland and Canada and London. I'm not going to help nobody get something my Negroes don't have. If I'm going to die, I'll die now, right here fighting you. If I'm going to die, you my enemy. My enemy is the white people, not Viet Congs or Chinese or Japanese. You my opposer when I want freedom. You my opposer when I want justice. You my opposer when I want equality. You won't even stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs, and you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you won't even stand up for me here at home.
Now that was a thing that cost Muhammad Ali, 3 years out of the ring? You on mute, Doc.
Prime years out of the ring. Yeah. His best years, one many people argue.
And so, being able to stand up for what you believe in, and, regardless of the situation, stand tall and go through it and actually win. When probably other people were telling them you ain't gonna win, you need to give it up, you need to forget it. He had that stick-to-itiveness. And I find that a lot of our people, don't have that, especially when it comes to trying to move this big mountain called Black America. Because that is one of the hardest, if not the hardest job on the planet, to get Black people to move in a certain direction that will benefit and uplift them, instead of allowing them to just continually going head first into that grave.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of, and this is unfortunately one of the things that holds us back. We are a collectivist minded people. And so we want everyone to be saved. And when you look at freedom struggles and what have you, they've always been executed by a small population of individuals. But we want to save everyone. And we rarely take the tactic of let's go out here and let's battle, let's execute a war, let's build a nation. Kind of the old Field of Dreams quote, build it and they will come. I think that would be probably the best way that we could begin to look at this thing. That those who are hesitant or those who are not willing to do what we would term their part in regards to this, we can't be concerned with them. We have to continue to focus upon what it is that we're doing and what we need to do. I'm thinking about, I want to say it was Dick Gregory, but it may have been a different civil rights luminary who talked about the sit-in movement and said quite simply, that the sisters who were participating getting beat at the sit-ins, these were the dark-skinned, short-haired, nappy-haired sisters that brothers wasn't asking to go out. Well, once they achieved the goal of integrating a lunch counter, here came the light-skinned, pretty sister to sit down on a date with somebody. And Gregory said, I've always felt like saying, yo, you go and you integrate your own lunch counter. And I think that that's what we're often seeing when we expect our people to stand up and do something. Many of them don't have it in them. But if you do it, they'll go ahead and they'll show up after the job is complete.
Ain't that about nothing?
Well,
here we have our next video. Muhammad Ali is giving a speech to his team before he goes out there to fight George Floyd.
George Floyd?
I mean, not George Floyd, but Foreman.
Oh, George Man.
You all looking so damn scared. Act like you're going to the funeral. I'm the one fighting George Floyd. George Floyd. You've been believing all that stuff you've been reading about how hard he hits. George Floyd knocked out Joe Frazier. He destroyed the kid. You not in, and the public is expecting you. The hell with George Floyd. When you get out here, if you're afraid, just smile. Just act like you're happy. I'm not gonna win the fight if I went out thinking like you. Damn George Floyd.
But what things in life have you ever been?
And sometimes, Doc, you got to jump on your team, and get them straight, get them thinking right, get them moving in the right direction. And it just comes with it. It comes with it, and you can't be afraid to show that. You can't be afraid to do that. You have to be decisive.
Well, certainly.
And that's one thing that George Bush used to say, I'm the decider. I'm the decider. He made that clear. He makes the decisions. Even though I believe Cheney made the damn decisions.
Yeah, I ride by Halliburton every time I go to the airport.
Wow.
Over to the right and be like, wow. There it is.
Dang. Well, we're going to take a look real quick at this video. Muhammad Ali greatest knockouts really quick. Or the top 20 knockouts.
He's catching us, I think. Oh, combination. 5 in a row. Left and right too fast. Everybody's down. That's all. It's all over. That's all of it.
Contender that is in there.
Well, he may be making a mistake, Don. Looks like he's sort of leading with his chin a little bit. And there he goes down. Another right cross by the champion. And we're back with the action. And Ali winding up. 1, 2, and there he goes again.
It doesn't seem to be any question that he should not continue.
Well, he's out on his feet, Ferdy. And as a doctor, it's about time. And look at Ali.
Look at Ali's windmilling.
That's it. That's it.
But take my word for it, I'm 3 feet away, and he's taking no notice. This must be surely one of the most unique fighters in heavyweight history. His ability to take a good punch. He was on the floor with Joe Frazier. Of course, Henry Cooper hooked him over in 1963. But he just crumbled there like a pack of...
He didn't have the weight to follow through. But I just caught him with a grazed right hand. I could do a lot of dancing, a lot of footwork, but he wasn't a Joe Frazier, Savallo type fighter where you have to keep moving away from him because he don't charge you too much.
Well, now that was a long right that connected, and it appeared that extra power.
Banks' right hand. It's the left hand that he's causing the trouble with. There goes Banks down. That's a knockdown, all right. 1 minute to go in round 3. Banks was roughed by that left hook. He's getting roughed a little more. That's all. Ruby Goldstein is stopping the fight. That's all.
Ali moving in on London. A fuselage of punches by Muhammad Ali. London goes down. It doesn't appear as if London's going to be able to make it to his feet. The fight is over.
And again, these right hands that are getting, why doesn't Lewis get out of that corner? Yes, he is as well. I hope that he heard me, because it really is ridiculous just to stand there and take them. What a right hand. That was the punch, I think, that Ali... Man, Lewis, you get the feeling as though Lewis is saying, okay, let everything go at me. When you've done it, I'll come back at you. But unfortunately, Ali does not give him enough respite. Really giving them the business. And it looks as though Eskin feels that that's enough. He's not going to allow Muhammad Ali.
Watch Ali pick up the pace now. There's a real vicious left with the right hand. Ali has the killer instinct in his eye. He wants to knock out. He smells the knockout. He has tried to drop Wetner. There's a good combination. Wetner's ready to go. Attempting to hang on viciously. He's trying to hang on. He's out on his feet. Ali flips him. A right hand off the left hook. Drops to the plate with the counters up to 4, up to 5.
Technical knockout in 2 minutes 41 seconds of the 15th round.
2:41 of the 15th
world
round.
heavyweight
champion Muhammad Ali.
Dive catch back now, still he hooks the left hand. And now he's cut over the left eye. Henry Cooper is cut over the left eye. He's just threatening and he's teasing Cooper. And now Cooper in round 5. And I think this is at the court. The counters come in from Cooper's corner and coming in and looking at it.
A sudden and dramatic ending as young Cassius Clay makes good his prediction of a 5th round KO. Moore pressing forward, trying to get in that one big punch to take Clay out of there. Ripping punches by Clay and Moore goes down. Moore is sent to the canvas. Ripping punches by Cassius Clay, and it's all over.
Fighter, cut out of Boys High School in Brooklyn. Hey, he hurt Lyle. Ali got to Lyle. Lyle is in trouble. He hurt him with a left. Lyle went back against the ropes. 11th round action, and Ali in command. Lyle's eyes are glassing. He's staggering. This time Lyle is ready to go. Look at that. Muhammad Ali. This is Muhammad Ali, even at 33. Suddenly, from nowhere, a left cut to Lyle. Sent him back against the ropes. Ali in total command. Being separated now. The fight is stopped. Fight, referee. And too often to the straight left. Down. The eye again now bleeding heavily. Split now. He is fighting on courage and courage alone, Mildenberger is. Now the nose is bleeding. Straight right. Oh. Teddy Walton is stopping this bout. It's a technical knockout.
Oh, the boss bet. Some say it's that one. Sparring may close out. Ellis looks all right. One minute remaining in this fight. Ellis is reeling. He looks defenseless on the ropes. The referee may be deciding whether he's going to stop the fight. He is stopping the fight.
Fight.
Critics say I can't hit. And there you go.
The first knockdown of the fight, he took the mandatory 8, and now Ali.
Solid right hand after this. Boot. There you go. Another hook.
Bonavina is running. If he goes down again, it's over. Ali is the knockout winner at 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Ali says, come on, and he caught him 2 lovely ones. Deadly left hands, and Quarry continues to take them. Quarry can't take much more of this. Cheeky, says Ali. Don't you dare. He's punched his heart out there. And he really caught Clay. Oh, Ali. And he fights back again as Ali now is infuriated. The bell. The smile off Ali's face there. Ali out to finish it. Yes, it was a last stand, I think. It was Quarry's last gallant effort. Referee must stop it. Yes, it's all over.
Very big round for the champion. Very big. Wow, on the end of every shot. Beautiful punches by Cassius Clay, the world champion. He's on the receiving end of good punches all the way. What a marksman. A minute to go in number 12. What a marksman Cassius Clay is. I believe they're going to stop it.
See how well the challenger rolls back from those punches? And there's Foley down! The champion has plenty himself, there's no question about that. That's Foley down from that right hand. I don't know if he's going to make this one.
Clay has landed the harder punches. Clay with the left to nose, the right to the nose. And Clay shakes him up, goes into a shuffle, misses the left, throws the left and the right. Williams stands his ground in mid-ring, but his face a hard left jump, the right to the nose. Williams down. Hurt in mid-ring. Clay with a left, a right, a left. Williams with his back to us is getting hit as well. A left, a right. Clay has him going down on his. A right, a left by Clay, a left, and a right. Williams grabbing his back. Clay feels he's got him now. Cuts him on the back of the ear and almost knocked him down. But Williams now stand-up style, backing away. Clay hits him with a left to the face. Williams doesn't quite know what to do. He's been hurt badly. Takes a left and a right in his own corner. Right, and the referee stops the fight. It's all over.
Over the left and drop the challenger.
Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. This is a combination. 3, 4, 5, 6. Foreman gets up to the knee. 8. That's it. The fight is stopped. Here it is. Right. The greatest fight of his life. Watch it now. Watch it closely there. He'd been taking it easy, and then suddenly the moment came. Watch it. And that was no phantom. That was no phantom punch. That was no phantom punch. And he's down and out. Definitely was not a phantom punch.
Like, I think in that fight right there, Ali actually went over everything, controlled aggression, right timing, right punch. I mean, just everything was just perfect. It was just perfect.
Certainly. To get in there and to battle Foreman like that, yeah.
Do you think Foreman believed all the hype that they kept saying about him?
About him or Ali?
about him, about himself.
I believe so. I believe so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody had disproved any of it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And that's one thing that was very important. Um, I heard Minister Farrakhan say, when you are being praised and, they're giving you the good accolades, don't take it into yourself, return it to the God and remain humble because it is the God that works through you. And Muhammad Ali always did that very, very well. And it's something that I think we lose sight of for those who begin to work on the behalf of our people and believe their own press, believe the hype that, is being told about them. And I think that's something that definitely needs to be able to, somebody should be able to pull them aside and say, hey, you need to think about this. You really need to think about that.
Well, that extends further than just the boxing game. You think about what happens when you don't have somebody who is willing or you're willing to listen to. You end up being Tiger Woods, mired in trouble after trouble after trouble.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have we seen the same thing coming out of Tiger's life?
Exactly. Now, this next fighter we're going to be talking about, Sugar Ray Leonard. One thing that Muhammad Ali told Sugar Ray Leonard is get in a position to sign your own checks.
Yeah.
To sign your own checks. And that's something that's very big. Why do you think he made that a point for Muhammad Ali made that a point to let him know that?
Experience. Ali by that time had been probably robbed of millions of dollars. It's a common thing that happens with boxers, be it the development of the contract to the execution of the contract. Be your own man, and that's the it's a what could best be termed should be a maturation of Black entertainers. That after a certain point, we've been doing this long enough that we understand the game. I think back, the person who's coming to my mind right now, someone was telling a story of meeting Prince. And he said that Prince just coolly asked him, said, but do you own your masters? And the person said that they had to lower their head because they didn't. They didn't own their masters. And many, and they shared that it was Prince who told them how to get their masters and why they need to have them, what you're going to do with them once you get them. That's a mentorship, that's a growth. So when you see an Ali telling a Leonard, look, get in a position where you sign your own checks. That's in many ways sharing parts of the game that no one shared with him.
And that's something too, that why does it seem that there's a hard time to pass on wisdom to the younger ones that's coming up? As the minister said, this work on behalf of our people, it ain't gonna be done in one lifetime. You have to be able to prepare the way for somebody else coming behind you. But there's a lot of people that refuses to do that.
Well, I think it occurs on both ends. Whereas you have individuals who are willing to share, and the next generation may not be willing to learn. So I think it can go both ways, to be honest with you. But you do have a duty to those within whatever brotherhood that is that you belong to share the game with them. of what they need to be looking for, what needs to happen.
Exactly. So we're going to take this quick look at Sugar Ray Leonard real quick and his amazing speed. And let's talk about it.
Balance, ready to fall to the floor. Only courage keeping him up there. But a tremendous round for the young Olympic fighter. Tremendous. There goes Leonard.
Remember at the end of last round, Mayweather was in trouble. Now, as we come to the side, and oh, a good left that stunned Mayweather. Now he's in real. There's the knockdown. The shot. Now the flurry combinations.
Not nappy. Paralympic going after him. The right lead, the left, and the right. Oh, on the button with a right hand. Again, the right hand. It goes to the body, goes to the head, back to the body, back to the head. Leonard pretty well pounding at will here in this 10th round.
Oh, a stunning right. You saw it to the left jaw of Cheverini. And Sugar Ray is giving it to Cheverini. Right here, you see Sugar Ray with the swiftness. Cheverini trying to double.
Just hanging on. More drop. High enough. It could be over. Man's out on his feet. He's unconscious. Leonard Curtis something. Leonard slow. And Leonard with much better power than he's given credit for. Hitting him with combination upon combination. Andy Price in trouble.
On Benitez's legs buckle. See the time left in the fight. Leonard steps in with a left. And he stops it. Carlos Benitez stops it with 6 seconds to go.
Combinations. Oh, it's so long.
This time, and boy, is he
Good right hand.
Left and right, but here comes
Good
the
right
right.
hand by Leonard.
Hit him at 10. They're in
They
for
don't
it.
like each other.
A right by Leonard.
Body punch, but that'll slow you down. Good right hand.
Left
Good
by
right hand.
Duran. Leonard punching in close. To the head, left to the body, takes a left, right, left.
This is what Angelo Dundee protests. Bounces right out again. And he's even doing a little dodging now and a little Ali.
He said he would beat the ring. Combination.
Sugar Ray is oozing confidence suddenly. Look at that. A kid got one polo punch.
Good right hand by Duran.
Knocks Sugar Ray in the ropes. It gets away immediately. And what's happening? Duran says no. I think he's quitting.
Oh my
What is
God.
he saying, Larry?
I don't
He's
understand.
saying no, he quit.
I don't understand this.
I think Duran quit.
That is harmless. Back the other way. 3-4 punches to the face now of Larry Bonds. Right above us once more. A right hand and another right. A left hand and Bonds.
Now, wait a minute. I thought Roberto Duran was supposed to have been a good-ass fighter.
He was a great fighter.
He just quit.
And I want to say that he beat Leonard the first time they fought. But yeah, that was the no mas fight, the no more fight. Yeah, because Sugar clowned him and really beat him up. So yeah, he quit.
Damn.
And you think about, like the list that you had yesterday, they had Roberto Duran as the number 5 greatest fighter of all time. And it puts you in the mindset of if he could make him quit, how good was Sugar Ray Leonard?
Exactly. Good Lord. And then I didn't know that was Mayweather daddy or granddaddy that got whooped.
That was his dad.
Damn.
That was Floyd Mayweather Sr. Yeah.
Good Lord. Sugar Ray was a bad boy.
Most definitely. He was I would argue he was the best at one of the greatest moments of the welterweight class. because you had Wilfred Benitez that you saw him beat, but more importantly, you had Duran, you had Hagler, and you had Tommy Hitman Hearns, all there together.
Wow. Golly Moses. Yeah, that brother is fast. I didn't. And you know one thing I noticed too by watching this, they don't do like boxers these days and hug up on you. They actually boom, 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 and keep booming.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That is amazing because you don't see fighters doing that these days. They hug up on each other quick.
I mean, well, you got to think that these guys were conditioned for 15 rounds. Now they're doing 12. And there's a lot to be said for the climb to the top and being hungry and reaching the top, or on your way to the top, getting these massive paydays. Do you stay the same level hungry? No.
Wow. And so that can be said the same thing for our movement. We're not as hungry as we really should be.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the creature comforts that we as Americans enjoy. If you travel to other nations, you'll find that we live like gods. You can walk to any wall in your home. You can hit a switch and lights come on. That's not standard for around the globe. And it's one of the reasons why when you see immigrants come here, they work so hard, because the oppression that they experienced early in their life, maybe even months ago, and they get a chance to work themselves out of that, they're gonna take to it like a fish to water. We have this thing that I know is going to end up coming back to hurt American children. And it is seeing many of these Mexican and immigrant children who are down here. They're standing at stoplights selling roses, selling fruit. And look at our children, what they're doing. Many of them are not even interested in learning. So who do you think is going to end up winning that battle? It ain't going to be our children.
Wow. That is something else. That is something else.
I mean, that hunger is something that you can't replicate.
Doc, when we're looking at it, it just came to my mind. Would you say with what was the lady name? I don't know the gangster woman, the Queen of Harlem, who was doing the lottery.
Queen, called her the Queen. It was like a French name.
Right. Yeah. Now, and I know from studying that, we started that lottery with pennies, and then the Italians took it over and all that. But for them to go and do that was kind of a war mentality, building underground independent economies to help keep things moving when the mainstream didn't provide for them. So that was a war mentality that they had then.
Well, certainly.
Why you think, is it because those things are illegal that they're not pointed out as being something that should be looked at, should be studied upon, and shown as you built an independent system.
Well, but I think that if you're looking at it, especially using the word illegal, you must be looking at white folks' book and how they're describing black folk and black business, that it could be illegal. They don't talk about bootlegging, which is how Papa Joe Kennedy made his money. They don't call that illegal. They just talk about that being a certain history and time. So in many ways, we have to use our ingenuity and really strip down the ideas of black liberation to a couple simple questions of, is it good for black folk? And will it benefit black folk? And if you can come up with a yes on those two questions, you probably need to go ahead and do what it is that you plan on doing.
Definitely. Definitely. Would that example be taught? If you ran a school, would you teach that?
Would I teach about Papa Joe Kennedy?
No, about the Queen and what she was able to do with the underground lottery.
Certainly. I mean, I'm teaching a course right now titled The African American Experience Through Film. And ironically, my kids just watched Jungle Fever, a film that sparked all kind of debate amongst them. But I also showed them the movie Hoodlum to cover that period of 1920s through the 1940s. And we had the Queen there. And of course, we have Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson there during that time period. So certainly. I mean, you're doing a disservice to our ancestors by not doing that, by not discussing those things.
How do we talk about the inner fortress of a boxer? How do we teach this to our young men to build their mental toughness, to build that stick-to-itiveness when times get tough, without it becoming a wall that leads to isolation? Going back to what Tyson said the other day, that, I don't get to see my wife, I don't get to see my children, I'm training, this is hard, to keep them from that isolation or the rising, or keep them away from the negative side of isolation, which can lead to suicide.
Well, see, my thing is that it all costs. If you want to be world class at something, it's going to cost. If you want to be great at something, it's going to cost. And one of those costs is going to be sacrificing socialization, social time. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with isolation. I don't see anything wrong with the construction of walls. We need to raise our boys up to understand the principle and the concept of the eye, and how they must take care of the eye. And a part of taking care of eye is directly tied into creating a life that you're able to control people's access to you, that you don't give everything away. Oftentimes we look at self-care as being selfish. It's not. It's self-care. It's something that you need to do if you're going to be working at 100% capacity.
What would you consider Black power masculinity to be?
Situating oneself to be the supreme servant for the people.
And how would we teach that?
By modeling it, first of all, but also we need to have these centers of rites of passage, where we have individuals who understand the idea of being self-sacrificing for their people, and you teach those lessons that way.
Definitely. Do you think that when it comes to all these charter schools that just pop up, should there be like a I don't want to say a think tank, but should there be like some type of protocol, and then that happens that they have to go through to be quote unquote, certified as a place that cultivates a strong Black mentality?
The thing is that one has to be learned, one has to be studied in regards to having anything to pour into the next generation. So I would agree with that. However, I think that a just as significant issue that you have to deal with when you're talking about Black charter schools is adopting the principle, it's a Marxian principle of dialectical materialism, looking around at your community and seeing what the needs are and creating a curriculum to address those needs. No one size is going to fit all. I don't care if you're talking about Philly and Newark. There are going to be some specific issues that need to be addressed for those cities. And those things are never going to be the same. So in many ways, when you're talking about the development of a curriculum, I think that you have to really look at it from a standpoint of what is it that the next generation of Black folk need to know? What is it? And then we created a curriculum to go ahead and address those things. Because it would make no sense, just as an example, for you to create a curriculum or a school that doesn't incorporate AI, because that's the way of the world right now.
Definitely. All right, we're going to look at a few more of this clip, and then we're going to move to the next fight.
He's waiting for Bonds to shoot that jab out so he can step over and hit him.
The right hand again, and right back comes Sugar Ray Leonard with a pair of rights to the face, and another right misses, and another right to the side of the chin.
Right now, Leonard's beating him as though he's his child.
Once again, right over his head.
Everything.
Here's a right hand that really crashes in to the face of Larry Bonds. Bonds throws a left hand, and now Leonard does a little hoochie coo.
Leonard's back in there right now using his straight right hand again.
Right hand right to the nose of Larry Bonds, and a left and a right. Two punches solidly score on Bonds, and another right hand to the face. Bonds tries to
now is the left hook on the side of that swollen eye.
Well, he has Bonds' hands down around his waist. Bonds tries to fight back. Bonds is hurt now. Doubles up in the corner. Combinations down goes Bonds. Coming up on 15 seconds in the round, Leonard is trying to put his man away, hammering Bonds. Arthur Mercanti jumps in, says that's it.
A good jab, and flowing a little bit. About 20 seconds to go as they slip.
Oh!
Burns may have been hurt. Leonard is in better shape at this point.
Leonard's got him. 5 seconds.
Leonard all over him. Burns can't get off. Burns may be tiring. Those body shots. Burns is backed into the corner.
Fight, a desperate fight. Good right hand. That
Burns was hurt again. Burns was hurt. He's trying to hold on.
There was that right hand.
Oh! That nailed it.
And now he doesn't have enough time.
Well, grab hold of him, which he's not doing.
No, he's too weak. He has nothing left. He's going to be knocked out.
And Leonard wins it. The referee is stopping the fight. I don't believe this.
I don't believe.
Refs don't believe in coming in saving people, I see. Because, God damn.
A brutal sport, man. Brutal.
Wow. This is amazing. This is amazing. They will let you blow each other head off, pound for pound, punch by punch, and just sit and watch. Lord have mercy.
Believe that either. Oh no! I don't believe that.
Strong right and backswing Finch, and now Leonard's opening up, and there it is. Down in the second round. From nowhere, Leonard opened up, and look at this. And you see the wobbly legs, and down goes Finch.
And there's a great combination by Leonard. All of those punches scoring, and still Kevin Howard stays in it.
He'll be a hero.
And there was the left hand, and Kevin Howard is about done here. Leonard knows it.
To go in the round.
There was a left hand and a sharp right. Howard held on just enough to stay up. Howard's in a whole lot of trouble here. Tries to fall. That's it. And the fight is over.
On the line.
And another right hand. Lalonde comes back. Better watch himself. Better watch him. Swings back the other way tonight. Oh, both moves against Tommy Hearns in this arena 7 years ago. Good exchange. Good right hand by Leonard. Lalonde gets hurt. Lalonde backs up against the ropes. Leonard landing at will. Hope they don't stop the bounce. And Lalonde goes down. Lalonde they would grab on and hold for dear life. Big right hand by Leonard. Lalonde staying up only through the force of will.
I'm saying you talking about me about some.
Oh, I bet you, Lord, was Johnson? Boy, he probably sitting back at heaven, was watching them and laughing his behind off.
Yeah. And see, they thought. I remember the hype surrounding Donnie Lalonde, that he was supposed to be the white boy that was going to come in and destroy all the brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, he sure enough got his behind whooped. So how did Sugar Ray go out? Did he go out as a champion?
Oh my God, no. Sugar Ray went out at the hands of a terrible Terry Norris. And Sugar Ray was Terry Norris's idol. And he destroyed Sugar Ray. Literally destroyed him. And Terry Norris, when he goes back into the locker room after the fight, cried like a baby. What he had done to Sugar Ray. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
If you look at Terry Norris fighting wise, he looks like Sugar Ray. You know.
Wow.
Fought like him and all that. Yeah. But unfortunately, neither one of them went out as champions. You know, Terry Norris destroyed Sugar Ray, and Terry Norris developed this this penchant for being knocked out. You know, and I'm talking about wasn't even a hard punch that would knock him out. And now, if you look at him and you look at a Mildred Taylor, these types of cats, they're suffering from significant brain damage.
Damn. Wow. Sugar Ray didn't end up fighting because he just needed the money, was it? Was it that kind of issue?
I think that Sugar Ray was addicted to the limelight. He loved boxing, and he simply stepped in there with a faster opponent. You know, when you think about if speed is your thing, and you never come across anybody who was as fast as you, when you do meet that person, they're going to destroy you, and that's exactly what happened.
Damn. Yeah, that man was a beast.
Oh Oh yeah.
Is he still living or is he dead?
I think Sugar Ray's still alive.
Okay.
I haven't heard of him dying.
Good. Wow. And so our next fighter that we're about to talk about is Iron Mike Tyson. Iron Mike. Raw, unchecked power used for entertainment of others. Now, Mike grew up in New York City and then wound up being with the boxing people, right?
Yeah, Customato.
Mm.
They went ahead and kind of adopted Mike. Mike is from Brownsville. You know, if you want to go someplace where you want to see black poverty, go to Brownsville.
Mm.
It is a very, very different place. Very different.
And Mike Tyson, I understand that his hero was Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
That was his hero.
Yes.
And Mike came from a broken family, correct?
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, they take him out of Brownsville, and I want to say Mike was trained by Customato and his people in Catskill, New York.
Mm. Wow. And Mike, did he have any was he slow mentally?
Not that I know
of. Okay. Mm. Wow. Now, when he came on the scene, he was the most devastating boxer that I knew, and I wasn't, into boxing like that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think that boxing is at its best when the heavyweights are relevant, and we hadn't seen a heavyweight really be all that relevant. This was right before Mike. That was the era of Sugar Ray now.
Mm.
Okay, and so here now you got this young kid coming in, and he set the world on fire.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great argument that could be made that Mike Tyson, just like Sugar Ray, saved boxing.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the same. It's the same effect that we saw with Venus and Serena.
Mm.
People are not tuning in before them. People tuned in to see Ali fight. They definitely tuned in to see Sugar Ray fight, and we certainly tuned in to see Iron Mike fight.
Mm. Yeah, I remember. I think it was Spinks. I think it was where he beat in like 81 seconds. Because I was in the military and we all went over Sergeant Rogers' house. Shit, I went up, got to the kitchen to get some popcorn, got back to the damn spot. The shit was over.
Yeah, it was over.
Like, well, damn. Yeah, I done paid this money to see this damn thing on pay-per-view, and the damn shit is over with. And I just went to the kitchen to get popcorn.
You ought to go watch the fight between Mike Tyson and Orlin Norris, who is Terry Norris's brother. Orlin Norris says that their feet got tangled up. Okay, and so and this is like round one. Their feet got tangled up, and he suffered a knee injury. Okay, and he couldn't continue to fight. Okay. Orlin Norris said, "But we can run this back again if y'all gonna give me another $1 million." brother just took the people money, and that was it. Orlin Norris.
Wow. One thing that I noticed about watching Mike Tyson fight, it seems like he never backed up. He was always moving forward. He
always
never,
moving forward. Yeah.
He never backed up. Always moving forward. Always moving forward.
With that classic signature head movement. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's something that, how would you phrase that for the Black Power movement, that we should always be moving forward, never taking a step back?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be moving forward, but you move forward as Mike did, like I said, with head movement. that was in many ways Mike's defense, his offense, because he wanted to, in many ways, cause you to have to think about everything that you were doing. Okay, because he's coming, but he's not coming in a reckless way where you're going to be able to catch him on his way coming in. He was extremely defensive in his actions coming forward. That's one of the reasons why you never see him get caught.
Wow. And the fight with Buster Douglas that he lost, and that shocked the hell out of me watching that and seeing Mike lose to freaking Buster Douglas.
Hey, man, come on, man. It's Columbus, Ohio. It's Columbus, Ohio, man. Buster, Buster's mom had died and all that, and but the biggest thing that I'll say about that is this, that and one of my very good friends, Anthony Quinn, who's a boxing enthusiast, he told me, he said, man, Mike finna lose. And I'm like, huh? He said, Mike is going to lose. He said, I can guarantee it that he's going to. And his logic for Mike losing made complete sense in hindsight. He said, number one, Mike arrived for the fight 3 days before, which is highly unusual. He should have been there at least a week before. The people around Mike it was no longer Customato them. These were Don King's people. These were people who were not fight people necessarily. And Mike was just in many ways showing up with the idea of just walking through Buster Douglas. And it's sort of a sidebar that'll really, how you say, man, if I had been there.
Right.
My homeboy, he's a gambler as well, goes on a gambling site. And the odds of Mike winning were like, I don't know, 42-1. He made it all the way to the last screen to place a bet. And he was planning on betting like $20,000 on a credit card that he had, right? Gets to the last screen and did not have the nerve to hit the button.
Wow.
And if he had, he would have walked away with, I think it was $840,000.
Wow.
Yeah, by calling that one correct. But he didn't have the nerve to do it.
Damn. Damn. Now, why would Don King do that when he was a moneymaker for Don, right?
Well, he's a moneymaker for Don King, but the thing is that I don't think that that's something that Don King did. I just think that Don King's boxing operations were subpar. And you have these people who are around and they're trying to get what they can out of the situation and what have you.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, we're going to check out some clips of Iron Mike. Let me ask you, before we look at these clips, though, do you think that when he was married to Robin Givens, that she motivated him in the proper manner to knock those people out?
No.
You don't think she had nothing to do with it?
No. Mike was knocking people out before he started boxing. No. I don't believe that she had anything to do with what Mike did in the ring. One could make the argument that she actually worked against what Mike was doing in the ring, because Mike Tyson is I don't know if you remember the interview that she gave, that those two gave. And she basically painted Mike as a sociopath who needed medicine. And they doped Mike all up and all of that. And he never seemed to be the same after he dealt with them, with that camp of individuals.
Wow. So do you think that Mike loved her and she just was in for the money?
I can't talk about her. her motivations or what have you, because she had some money already. But what I will say is I do believe that Mike loved her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get individuals who are coming from those impoverished backgrounds. These are individuals who want love, never had it before, don't know what it feels like even, and they desire that more than probably anything else in the world. And whoever would come by and would offer that, I could see Mike jumping on that, you know, like a fish takes the water.
All right, let's check out these few clips real quick.
In his prime, Mike Tyson was an absolute monster, making arrogant fighters pay the ultimate price for running their mouths and disrespecting the baddest man on the planet.
Everybody in this room here would have been able to beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was born right.
Digs to the body, goes to throw right hand, gets clipped with a big right hand. He won't get up from this one.
Join us as we take you on a journey through Mike Tyson's most brutal punishments, where arrogant fighters who ran their mouths learned the hard way that disrespecting Iron Mike was the biggest mistake of their lives.
Oh, that was a tremendous left hand.
This is the Boxing Lab. Let's go. In January 1988, Tyson came across an ancient boxing relic named Larry Holmes. This graying champion believed his legendary status gave him the right to talk down to the young destroyer like he was some amateur punk.
Everybody in this room here would have been able to beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was born right.
Tyson was furious, and when the time came to finally unleash his fists on Holmes, he wasted no time. But when the bell rang, it was time for this aging has-been to learn some hard lessons about respect.
I'm a huge fan of Larry Holmes, because I want to remember. History books is one of the great heavyweight champions of all, has received the credit, but and this is the heavyweight championship of the world. Trying to pick up the pace of Larry Holmes. Closing seconds of the first round. As the bell, ending round one. This is the heavyweight championship of the world.
Tyson stalked the legend like a lion hunting an injured gazelle.
Knocking out Joe Louis. It's that I'm a huge fan of Holmes. He's not executing tonight. He's an easy target for Mike. Was a driving, pounding left jab, and it's not there. Larry got a sneaky right hand, 4 knockouts in his career, but most of them were notice he just holds the left hand out now. In his career, he's never been hurt. And I hope he doesn't get hurt tonight. Championship of the world, Larry Holmes. Notice how Mike comes right through, and it doesn't shift Mike at all. It doesn't even back him off. Beat up Muhammad Ali. And that's Larry's best hand. Look at this. He can again. Stand wide, though. This is a business. Larry standing flat-footed. Mike comes right side. Nice defense inside by Larry's good jab. Notice? That's a powering jab. He used to drive off the back foot. Former ability of Larry. But he has to do what he has to do. He can't punish the body. There's a digging body. And there's the bell ending the round.
Holmes tried to turn back the clock with his famous jab.
But watch out, Larry, for that right hand. Mike is extremely quick. Oh, wouldn't it be great if Larry could keep this up for a few rounds? 20 seconds of rounds, and he stole rounds. But doing it at the start of a round is something different. There's Larry back on his heels again now.
Then, Iron Mike decided to personally deliver Holmes his pension papers.
Fights of all heavyweight history. Hey. And here we had 10 years is the biggest problem. Oh, right hand! Down goes Larry Holmes! Boy, oh boy, look at that. The heaviest out than that. But right now, Mike Tyson is in charge. He's the boss, and Larry's down for the second time. There's no free knockdown rule. He senses the kill. He comes in for it. Larry trying to hold him off. There's too much time left in the 4th round. The end of a great career is imminent. Larry Holmes' legs are jelly. There's lightning in the fist. Big right hand, followed up, showing patience to get set for the big shot. Right hand hurt Larry again. He's back at his heels. So look into the eyes. Larry gets nailed with the left hand, the right hand. Digs to the body, goes to throw right hand. Gets clipped with a big right hand. He won't get up from this one.
The aging champion's legs were gone. Holmes's legendary career came to a brutal end. By early 1991, Iron Mike was on a mission to reclaim his throne after the shocking upset loss to Buster Douglas. But standing in his way was a devastating knockout monster named Donovan Razor Ruddock, who walked into the fight with a left hook so vicious they called it the Smash, a punch that had separated more souls from their consciousness than a baseball bat to the skull.
Could be very, very important. Oh, there he goes. In the left hand.
Nice uppercut by Ruddock. Oh, there goes Morrison.
Ruddock had been obliterating top contenders with the Smash, knocking out former champions like Michael Dokes and James Bone Crusher Smith, and believed he could easily add Mike Tyson's body to the pile.
Round 1 scheduled for 12.
The difference in size immediately apparent. Butch missed.
The big question, can Ruddock withstand the punch?
Well, he's ready for it. He threw his bomb.
Oh, all right.
Well, he'd thrown a big punch. He stumbled after the punch.
Oh, uppercut by.
Right on the button.
Another solid.
Any lessons from Douglas throwing an uppercut from outside? He's throwing from way out there. It's done something. It stopped Iron Mike.
Oh, what a right hand.
Coming on as aggressively as he had. Another uppercut. Inside when he gets in. Mistake he made against Douglas.
There's that big left. He contact.
From the start, Tyson was eager to take Ruddock out, but knew Ruddock could also end the fight in an instant.
And landed. There's another one.
A good shot by Razor Ruddock. Ruddock doesn't seem to care. A hard body punch by Tyson.
That cut this tension with a knife. Both men throwing punches. Any one of which could stop it.
And we are heading for the bell.
Both men were trading bombs early on.
Round 2, it's scheduled for 12. Oh, a heavy right by Tyson. Down goes Ruddock. He says he slipped.
There was a shot, though, and he did go down, whether he's off balance or not.
Boy, that could eliminate the knockdown. As far as points are concerned, a fast
estimate. If the fight continues, Steele will have to warn him, and then he'll have to take a point. Calm and composed, because a hurricane is building up.
There's a big right by Tyson that's a bit frustrated in the opening round. Now, he's measuring Ruddock out.
Wake up. You better get into this fight again.
Boy, Ruddock looking a little rough.
And that's it. The result of those thundering body shots.
Round 2.
This body attack is killing Razor. Ruddock looks like a rudderless ship. He has no counterpunch. He has no game plan.
And that is it for round 2. Round 3, it looked like Ruddock, as he was going down in the process.
And that's what he's got. Ruddock just went back. Now he's trying to get his uppercuts going.
There's never been in this kind of an atmosphere before, champion against Michael Dokes.
Dokes is here, but he's not effective counter punches, but they don't land. He's gritting his face, waiting for the punch.
Punch it down. Put your arm back, Grayson. Pull him back, Grayson. Maybe holding on for dear life.
You do not want to get in there with Tyson. He's got short, stubby arms, and he kills you, Tyson. As long as Tyson gets in, he lets him go and lets him work on the end.
Just leaning on Tyson. Oh, right by Tyson. Crowd erupting.
Good shots. He just doesn't quite get there.
There's a left by Ruddock. A left by Tyson, and down goes Ruddock.
Hey, you okay? Come to me.
Just when Ruddock thought he was on pay dirt, landing good punches, in comes a counter punch. What a tremendous shot by Tyson. Lucky that he got up. Wonderful left hook. The patented Tyson killer, the left hook.
Round 4, scheduled for 12. Tyson now trying to finish Ruddock off.
Sauntered out there like a man about to take his whipping. He did
this. Mike Tyson having his way as far as his feet go, not as far as his fists.
It seems as if Tyson
catches breath, looking for a second win here.
Can't leap in there with disregard. This guy can punch.
Oh, body shot by Tyson.
crowd groans. That body shot sounded like he hit a drum. Again, the crowd groans.
Relentless attack by Tyson.
And Razor Ruddock looks like his punishment.
Oh, a big left by Ruddock. Oh, they hit after the bell once again. So don't end it with one shot. You're out of your game plan.
Worry about it.
All right, uppercut by Ruddock. Richard Steele, who has refereed 83 title fights, a former take this one. Well, that was a good shot by Ruddock. Tyson's promoter, Don King. Oh, it's a right hand by
integrity or his honesty.
A flurry. Tyson with another right.
Round by round, the war was intensifying.
He's looking for that uppercut. He's looking for that one thing that can be. Possibility of Tyson tiring out here also is in the.
He was looking for his third straight.
Oh, looking.
We are now closing down the fifth round.
As Tyson has virtually gone to sleep.
Very anxious to continue into round 6 now. And Tyson right above us. Than Tyson. You would figure he knows exactly what he has to do.
A survival fight, even though he's getting chopped down little by little. Whoa, nice right hand by Tyson. It's a question of can he survive these wild punches by Ruddock. Ruddock's throwing some hard leather from time to time.
Up close. Oh, what a right hand! Mike Tyson used to stay on his feet. He's been knocked out twice. Combination by
uppercut and then the right hand over. Oh, nice hook.
Here comes Razor Ruddock out of nowhere. A combination by Ruddock. An uppercut. A right by Tyson comes back.
Great exchange by Ruddock. It's a hard punishment again.
A left uppercut by Razor Ruddock. That stunned Tyson. Now Tyson says no. Hit me again. And he did with the right. At the bell sound.
Getting brave because of that. Let's see if he wants to fight now.
Electrifying round. We headed to number 7.
In round 7, Tyson landed his best combination of the fight.
What I'm saying is those sit in that punches as they happen, those body shots have been hard. It just took a little bit of effect on Tyson. That was a hard body shot by Tyson.
Seems to have taken some steam out of Tyson. Ruddock coming back. Now Tyson with a big left. It's a pretty good change.
Yeah, but Ruddock's all that, and now it's my turn to hit some.
And people here for withstanding this kind of barrage. Oh, what a right by Tyson!
And Ruddock in the breeze just then.
Tyson has Ruddock on the ropes.
If Tyson.
Now the right combination. Steele steps in. Is it over?
The referee stopped the fight, but it was clear Ruddock was able to continue, and chaos followed.
Boom, a knockdown. There's going to be an awful, ugly scene here.
There's a brawl in the ring.
Giacchetti's under all of that. Giacchetti was under all of it. Big riot going on.
The first hurdle in Iron Mike's path to undisputed glory was the WBC champion, Trevor Berbick. Berbick had a bad reputation for winning with dirty tactics, such as hitting opponents in the back of the head.
It was sounded. Look at this. Trevor. Right above us. I don't think we can beat the guy.
Furthermore, he was also known for being the man to send Muhammad Ali into retirement, causing him heavy damage.
These are solid punches. They're just above us, trying to level him. Ali always could take a punch, but now he's in trouble.
This alone was reason enough for Tyson to destroy Berbick in the ring.
Let's see how long his reign lasts.
From the very start, Mike began punishing Berbick, dealing revenge with his fists.
Bounces it off the forehead of Trevor. Trevor tries to work and takes a light left jab. Tyson will be able to get underneath it. Oh, wow! With a right, another left hook that just raises. Trevor, with this bravado, could get him directly in front of him. That is, a left hook that really caught him.
of Mike Tyson. He's standing, but this is a poor fight plan. Oh, the right hand gets him. Notice the lazy left. Watch Tyson load up with left and right. You get the idea that Mike, as soon as, the right hand, Tyson having a good first round. Wow, with the uppercut misses. See this? Tyson walking right through. He's walking, and Tyson clips him with the left hand. Look at this. Combination. And Berbick ready to go, but he stays on his feet. Another right hand clips him.
But Berbick decided to taunt Prime Tyson, signing his own death wish.
Trevor Berbick, this is round 2. Championship of the world. Trevor Berbick and Mike Tyson. Tyson goes to work right away, and he gets Trevor in trouble, and he's down. Comes Tyson again. He knows he can hurt him anytime. Left hook, right hand. But what he's not doing is holding off Mike with a left. And you see the light left hook by...
Then, Tyson decided it was time to execute the fool for all his sins, making Mike the youngest world heavyweight champion ever.
All time. Bangs the body. Wow, with that uppercut is Tyson. Catches him with a right left hook, and he goes down. He goes down. He should be able to get up from this. His legs may be shut down. And Trevor Berbick falls back in the rope. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue. He's got the heart, but his body won't let him do what his mind wants to. And he's counted out as a knockout. Mills Lane counted him.
In May 1980.
Lord have mercy. That's funny. Ain't no way in the world. You know, one thing I noticed, Doc, is that the men that Tyson been fighting are taller than he is.
Yeah.
So they have a longer reach, but they kept letting him get inside, get real close where that jab is ineffective.
Letting him. They didn't let him get inside. Mike coming inside, and you look at that head movement as he's coming forward. Every movement of that head, he's inching closer to you. They didn't let him do that. You can be sure that boxing 101 is use that jab, keep him on the outside, so he can't reach you. Didn't work.
How could we turn that into a strategy for Black Power to win? How would we turn that into where the enemy that you have to get up close to them so that they couldn't jab you?
Well, I mean, you could use the analogy of Dan Freeman and the spook who sat by the door. You get close to him, but you got to have some type of machine that could apply what it is that you're learning, that are the exploitable weaknesses that they have, and that's one of the things we haven't been able to perfect.
Wow. Yeah, if we could perfect that would be very, very interesting. I know on the battlefield, one of the things is if you get up close to the American soldiers where the Air Force couldn't drop their bombs because they'll be killing their own people, and fight hand to hand or whatever you need to do, but to take away the air from them by getting up close to close. That's a tactic in the military that we learn. But to be able to turn that into a civilian tactic that you could use as a Black Power advocate would definitely be a winner.
I don't think that it's that difficult to do. I think that what needs to happen is that we have to train ourselves and learn to act out of a plan and act efficiently, to strike, and not spend so much time fooling around.
Definitely. Now, our last fighter, Money Mayweather, what separate is his promotion company, whatever you call it, Money Promotion Company, where he really took the reins, and also, if I'm correct, because he never lost a fight, right?
Correct.
And he is the only champion besides not Customato, what the white guy name?
Marciano.
Him and Marciano are the only two that can say they never lost a fight. Is that correct?
Yeah, but the caveat for that is quite simply Floyd comes along in a time where there aren't other really great fighters. He beat everybody that was available. But if you look at Leonard, he came at a time where you had Hagler and Hearns. Who can Floyd point to as being there, being great during that time? He came up in an era where there weren't any really great rivals. And he, or he was that good that he just dominated everybody that was great, which I don't believe. So who was he got? Julio Cesar Chavez?
Interesting. So do you believe that the rumors that he's broke now?
I don't know. I hope not. But that brother spent a lot of money. He flashed a lot of money. And I just hope and pray not. Because the truth of the matter is that to say that a Floyd Mayweather went broke, one has to ask themselves, where did that money go? It left his pocket, his control, and went other places. Where? And why?
I was watching some video and the commentator said for Mariah Carey to get in her car and drive anywhere, it's going to cost her at least $150,000 per outing because you got the security, you got this, you got that.
Yeah.
Then all of these things that they have to have before they can even go anywhere. Is that a problem that they have made for themselves by doing certain things unwisely, or that's just come with the?
Well, I think that it comes with the renown and the celebrity and the becoming addicted to the spotlight, so that you're going to make a big show, a big to do out of whatever it is that you're actually doing or being involved in. And there are people around them who are, for lack of a better term, hungry, and they're seeking an opening to take what it is, anything that they can get their hands on.
So in other words, they need to learn the lesson from MC Hammer.
Yeah. I mean that's this is the same lesson, like how we talked about Ali talking to Tyson about, get to a point where you can sign your own checks. There should be a natural maturation that we don't see a Money Mayweather end up broke because he's learned how business actually works. I don't know if that happened or not.
Wow, it definitely needs to happen because I would hate to see him broke. Definitely.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan. I didn't watch his boxing, but I definitely would not want to see him broke.
Yeah, I mean Floyd has so much more life to live. He's still a very young man, and for him to be financially destitute, that would be horrible. Absolutely horrible. But it happened to Mike. It can happen to anyone.
Definitely. Well, I think. Well, Mike, didn't Don King steal most of his money away?
Yeah, I mean, it happened to Mike.
Wow. I'm surprised nobody didn't put a bullet in Don King yet.
I mean, Don King's a gangster. He is. Don King went to prison for murdering a guy. So violence is right up his alley.
As he say, only in America.
Only in America.
All right, we're going to watch a few minutes of Floyd.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, pretty boy, Floyd Mayweather.
The hair is standing up at the back of my neck. This is the most exciting event that I've seen in a long, long time. Here we go. Doing a pretty good job, but he missed that shot.
Floyd Mayweather is in for the toughest fight of his life. Backing up and under adversity, and here's De La Hoya on him again, and his fight plan is starting to work.
He's backing him up. He caught him. He caught him with a shot.
And it's a treat to have to see him do this.
Now that time, Oscar threw a series of punches, and nothing really landed. Mayweather is so slick defensive. This kid impresses me so much. He is a terrific fighter. So Mayweather.
Oh, he really rocked Oscar coming in.
Yeah, he did. He caught him with a good right hand.
Well, Mayweather more than doubling Oscar De La Hoya in the power department, and here's a good example. That's a great shot.
What a fight! How do you like it? How do you like it? Lining up the right hand now. There it goes. It caught him, but it didn't quite catch him. You see what's happening? He can't reach him when his legs are far apart.
He's tired, too.
That's a Mayweather round. A brilliant fight. I'd like to see it again. Ricky Hatton decked out in blue with the fringe and the Union Jack in his trunks. In the gray trunks with the red trim, Floyd Mayweather. Here we go.
Hatton drops the right shoulder when he's coming in. He can see the right hand of Hatton load up, and he catches him with the hook.
Hatton has got a real big mouse underneath that right eye of his, and that's from the left hooks again. Hatton continues to want to put the pressure on Floyd. The lightning hand speed of Mayweather is extraordinary.
Hatton always has to start again when Mayweather gets his quick shot home.
Left hook drops him, and then he hit his head off the turnbuckle. This is the beginning of the end.
You don't let him off.
There he is, it's all over. The fight is over. Floyd Mayweather has stopped Ricky Hatton in the 10th round to retain the WBC and Ring Magazine Welterweight Championship of the World. Here we go, schedule for 12. After a 21-month layoff, Floyd Mayweather is back in action, and they've turned out en masse here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas to see him. Marquez hasn't been able to touch him yet. He makes a miss with 2 shots there. Look at this defense, unbelievable. For you young boxing fans that are watching Floyd Mayweather, you're seeing one of the, if not the greatest defensive fighter of all time. I mean, that's how strong I feel about him.
He's everywhere, and then he's nowhere. You think you've got him,
little dipsy do, you throw the punch and he's not there. And again, it's not just hand quickness, it's the movement of the head, the way he rolls with punches. Look at the way he makes them miss. I mean, 3, 4 shots. This is just extraordinary.
We've been able to see Mayweather showcase so much. And this is a great exhibition of how to combine the best of offense and defense.
Brilliant victory for Floyd Mayweather Jr. Sensational performance. All right, this is what we came for. The hair standing up on the back of my neck. And we're going to have a war here. Shane Mosley, Floyd Mayweather. Here we go. Look at that left hand being carried down low. Is Floyd able to get away with it because he's so fast with his hands. First minute and a half again. It's clear to see that Mayweather's outboxing Shane Mosley right now. And Mayweather with the speed again, bangs him up against the ropes. This is going to be frustrating for Shane Mosley right now. Look at that. Pity-pat punches by Shane, and Floyd cracks him with the right hand coming in.
And Mayweather from the outside can score and get there first.
A big right hand landed by Floyd. There's no way Ortiz can box with him.
No, I think Ortiz is going to come out and try to come straight at him and brawl.
Here we go, round 1.
He is so instinctive. And there's the defensive.
Mayweather sort of picking him apart. Look how quick he is when Ortiz comes after him. And there's Ortiz battling back, but look where the hands are of Mayweather. He lunged forward with his head. Time has been called, and now a point's going to come away.
Oh, and then as Mayweather makes him pay, what a rookie mistake there by Ortiz.
9 and 10. It's all over. All right, so the stage is just about set. They'll clear the ring, and Dave, the anticipation of this height is absolutely enough. Nobody has pinpoint accuracy against the defensive tactics of Floyd Mayweather in the red trunks. He's standing straight up right now, and Cotto still can't get to him. Look at that. Overhand right. He wants to show this guy what a good fighter. There's no bad blood between these guys.
That's a nice move there by Mayweather. Let him set the trap, and he does. We saw some things tonight that were as vintage Mayweather as anything we have ever seen from him.
Whether you like him or you don't like him, you don't want to miss seeing him fight because he is a tremendous athlete. 36 years old, I don't see any slowdown. I certainly don't see any ring rust.
Yeah, no change in the reflexes as he jabs and darts away from the counter. And then scores with the lead right hand.
But I mean, the obvious difference in this is the hand speed, which is phenomenal from the 36-year-old fighter. I mean, look at that. He threw about 5 or 6 punches, and Mayweather just slips right out of that corner, kind of like a greased pig at a fair.
I don't think there's ever been anybody better we've seen that can shift from defense to offense and back so easily and effortlessly. A lot of what Floyd Mayweather does in there is instinctive. What he sees, what he picks up, and how he reacts off the nuances of his opponent and then gets there fast is what separates him from the other fighters, even the other elite fighters in this game.
Floyd Mayweather has given a boxing lesson to Robert Guerrero.
So Floyd, obviously a pretty decent guy. But his thing to be, because he was his own promoter, right?
Yep, I believe so. Yeah.
There was no middleman negotiating for him. Everything went straight to him.
I don't think it was that smooth, to be honest with you, because you still got to deal with a venue. You still got to deal with insurance. You got to deal with all these other things that go along with that.
Wow. Well, definitely, I think he tried to be truly able to do for self. Has there been any other fighter that took the do for self principle to work it like Floyd had did?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've had, sporadically we hear about fighters who are representing themselves, their own agents. We've been hearing about that in like the NFL and the NBA. I want to say the brother that is the quarterback, is it Lamar Jackson?
Exactly.
That is his own representation. So it's a good thing to see coming, and you hope that it's not a faddish thing, because we've seen these sort of sporadic things with the Christians wanting to represent athletes, then another group wants to represent athletes, but eventually they almost always end up back with a in the mainstream of agents and what have you.
Definitely. You remember Ricky Williams, right?
Of course.
And
Saints, running back, yeah.
And he was his own agent.
Yeah.
And I heard he got himself a horrible deal. He had a horrible deal.
Well, the thing is that who's announcing it as a horrible deal? Is that a propaganda trick from other agents or what have you?
It's a good question. I heard it on NFL Network when I was watching one day. And they was like, yeah, he had a horrible deal. He didn't understand and didn't read the fine print that you had to run certain many yards and get these statistics for the money to come in.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I've heard something very similar to that surrounding Ricky Williams.
Wow. Well, we're at the end of the program, and boxing is a world that I really didn't spend a lot of time taking part in watching, but watching these clips is definitely exciting, and being able to see and taking some of the philosophies that we can look for and understand in the boxing world and apply it to real world situations. Because every day you have a real world situation that definitely needs to be dealt with, and it needs to be dealt with in a disciplined manner. It needs to be dealt with in an unemotional manner, because within our emotions is when we can make serious mistakes that could cause us to lose a battle. And that battle could be a battle very important, which could cause us to lose the war. So these things we have to take note of and learn all the ins and outs, because this is something that happens every single day. Every single day we are confronted with different situations, and we have to realize, how are we going to handle this? In which manner are we going to handle this? Because we are a people that are literally, at war. The society and its systems are at war with us. And some of our people live their life like they had no idea that there's even a war going on. So these things you have to take apart and look into and see, ask questions, and learn all about yourself.
Well, I mean, it's. I'll end with this and say that, it's the formula for success is one that we have to learn, and we have to be diligent about applying it to our personal lives, our professional lives, our economics and what have you. The time has expired a long time ago for us to be out here acting all willy-nilly like we don't have good sense. And I yield with that, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as we always say, we want to thank everybody for joining us. Brother Willie Rivers, peace and blessings. Christine Williams, peace and blessings. Emerald Jules, peace and blessings. And everybody else that were watching or was watching, is watching, and didn't comment, we definitely thank you. We ask for everybody to like, share, and subscribe, so that we'll know that you're appreciating the information that we're putting out here. And again, look at everything thoroughly and deeply. And there's a lesson to be learned if you're willing to extract it and apply the lessons. So as we always say, you kill the nigga in you, I'm going to kill the nigga in me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black first, today, tomorrow, and forever. Love you, family. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom.
Peace.
Peace. So you better get the message and get it straight. You're going to need some bridge work.